One of the most notorious serial killers in history, the Zodiac Killer terrorized the San Francisco Bay Area in the late 1960s and early 1970s. His reign of terror resulted in at least 5 confirmed assassinations and several satirical letters to the press. The coded messages between these letters, called ciphers, remain undeciphered to this day. In this video, we delve into the mystery of the Zodiac Killer ciphers and their relentless efforts to crack them. Join us as we explore the history, efforts, and dedicated individuals involved in deciphering these cryptic codes. The Zodiac Killer's reign of terror began in the late 1960s when he claimed responsibility for a series of brutal murders. His identity remains unknown, but he taunted law enforcement and the media with cryptic messages sent in ciphers. The most infamous of these ciphers is known as Z340, the 340-character cipher that has stumped code breakers for more than 5 decades. The male suspect, known as the Zodiac Killer, killed at least 5 people and attempted to kill at least 2 others in Northern California in 1968 and 1969. In the first 3 attacks, he targeted couples. The first 2 homicide victims were high school students parked in a car on the first day. In attacking the other 2 couples, he managed to kill the women, but the men survived. A San Francisco cab driver was the last known victim. During the killing spree, the Zodiac Killer sent a series of letters to media outlets taking credit for the killings. To substantiate the claims, the letters included unreleased information and evidence from crime scenes. In August 1969, following the murders of 3 of the 5 known victims, the Zodiac Killer sent 3 nearly identical letters to 3 Bay Area newspapers. Each letter contained 1/3 of the 408 symbols, declaring that the suspect would reveal his identity. The killer demanded that the letters be published in full, or he would be killed again. A week after the letters were sent, amateur and professional cryptographers, including those working for the FBI, would work to crack the cipher. It wasn't until this week that an international team solved it. The code has been unsolved for so long. There was a big target behind it, and I felt it was a challenge that had the chance to be solved. Dave Orenchuk, one of the 3 men who cracked the coded message, said by email, "It was a fascinating project to work on, and it was on many people's top unsolved ciphers of all time list. The full text of the cracked cipher is, I hope you're having a lot of fun trying to catch me not being on the TV show that makes a point about me, so I'm not afraid of the gas chamber. When all others have nothing, they fear death. But I am not afraid because I know I have lived a new life." The decoded message matches most of what is already known about the case. The TV show and the reference to the gas chambers refer to a call to the KGO TV talk show a month ago, where a man claiming to be the Zodiac Killer said, "I need help, I'm sick, I don't want to go to the gas chamber." In other communications, the killer used the same misspelling for the word paradise. In fact, there was earlier mention of collecting slaves for the afterlife. A couple in Salinas, California has cracked the cipher. The Zodiac Killer's regular line revealed that he collects slaves for the afterlife, but he won't reveal his identity because doing so would disrupt those plans. In November 1969, after killing 2 known victims, the Zodiac Killer sent a letter to the San Francisco Chronicle containing a new mystery. The cipher was called Z340, or simply 340 because it contained 340 characters. The FBI in San Francisco confirmed that the team had correctly solved the encryption. In a statement issued, the agency wrote, "The FBI is aware that a cipher attributed to the Zodiac Killer was recently solved by private citizens. The Zodiac Killer case remains an ongoing investigation for the FBI San Francisco division and our local law enforcement partners. The Zodiac Killer terrorized multiple communities across Northern California, and decades have passed, but we demand justice for the victims of these brutal crimes. Due to the ongoing nature of the investigation and out of respect for the victims and their families, we will not be commencing further at this time." Orenchuk, a 46-year-old software developer from Virginia, said 340 is a transposition cipher. Many ciphers used by computers today rely on mathematics to scramble messages. Transposition ciphers, by contrast, are largely a relic of the past and use rules to rearrange characters or groups of characters in a message. Transposition ciphers rearrange messages in different ways. A common method is to rearrange the columns of a message. The message in 340 is often reworked by manipulating triangular segments cut from messages written in rectangles. Orenchuk and his colleagues developed an app to help them unravel the puzzle. The 340-character cipher was too heavy to crack, Orenchuk says, and in 1969 no one could decipher the Zodiac message, suggesting the killer didn't know how difficult the code he created was. In addition, he notes that today's codes, such as those that secure smartphone apps or transmit information over the internet, would never succumb to the kind of brute force efforts used by Orenchuk and his collaborators. Zodiac sent 4 fully coded messages to the paper in 1969 and 1970. The first was 408 characters long and broke within a week. The recently solved 340-character cipher is the latter. After that, the killer sent 2 very short ciphers, one with 13 characters and the other with only 32. In January 2021, an engineer in France claims to have solved them, but Blake is skeptical. They're both too short to have a unique solution, he says. As we move further into the 21st century, technology and human will are on a collision course with the ciphers of the Zodiac. Maybe one day these codes will be broken and the invisible killer will be revealed. Chasing until that day comes, codebreakers from around the world will join together, hoping that one day they will succeed in breaking the Zodiac Killer's ciphers and bring justice to those who can no longer speak for themselves. Thank you for joining us on this intriguing journey into the world of Zodiac Killer ciphers. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more fascinating mysteries and unsolved puzzles. Until next time, stay curious and never stop searching for the truth.